Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at my top 5 artist quality coloured pencils. Now, I'll go into this briefly here before we get into the video, but if you cast your mind back, I did a video called my top 5 artist grade coloured pencils. It might do you good if to help you understand this, to watch that video, and then watching this video you might understand what I'm talking about, but I'll briefly go over it. So the way when I did the artist grade colored pencils, whenever I'm doing my reviews and my testing and stuff like that, I break it down. I break all these pencils down into different grades. So even though we have student grade pencils, well, I break that down again into different grades of student grade, if you understand what I mean. And with artist quality pencils, so I will have artist grade pencils, and what I mean by artist grade pencils are pencils that are only light fast tested in the ASTM or Blue Wool system. There are lots of other light fast tested coloured pencils, but they're in-house light fast tested, and there's no way or means for us as artists to verify what they are saying is legitimate. And I'm not trying to say that they're not legitimate, but I'm just saying there's no way of us verifying it. For example, the World Health Organization, that's the standard that we all go by, or the medics and people like that all go by whenever it comes down to certain things. If someone else just came up with their own standards in that regard, you're still always going to go to the World Health Organization as like the top standard, regardless of all the controversy surrounding it. I'm just using that as an example. The way I look at coloured pencils are, if they are light fast tested, as light fast ratings are what artists really look for in a product whenever they're going to be using it. For me, they can only be one of two systems, ASTM or Blue Wool. So when I say my top 5 artist quality coloured pencils, I'm talking about pencils that are still going to produce absolutely gorgeous, beautiful work, but the light fast testing, the light fast grading of these pencils are in-house light fast tested. Like I say, I explain it in much greater detail on the video where I talk about my top 5 artist grade pencils, and I also talk about it in my video where I'm talking about Blue Wool and ASTM light fast ratings. So I'll have links for those down below if you want to go across and see them. So let's get into the top 5, and I have to say this top 5 is very, very close for me. There's not much in it with regards to quality and ability and all these other different things that I look for in a pencil whenever I'm thinking about doing a nice piece of work. So let's start at number 5 and work our way up to number 1. So coming in at number 5 for me is Prismacolor. Now I know there are fantastic artists out there that create some of the most beautiful work with Prismacolor, and whenever I'm going to be doing a piece for myself, if I'm going to be working on like a fan art piece, I will 9 times out of 10 reach for Prismacolor pencils, because they are going to give me an opaqueness that I need. They're nice and thick and creamy. They're going to give me that rich, thick colour that I need for those fan art pieces that are really bright and vibrant. I'm not going to have to, although I can, but I'm not going to have to like spend ages layering. When I'm doing a fan art piece, layering isn't really something that I'm looking to do, because I've already laid down bulk of the colour with markers. So all I need is a nice thick pencil that's going to come along and help me smooth in those transitions, and Prismacolor is that pencil. On the other side of that, I know that there are artists such as the amazing Cynthia Knox. If you watch her tutorials, or you take her Zoom classes, or you read her books, or the many other different formats that Cynthia has put out, classes and learning tools for coloured pencils, she almost exclusively uses Prismacolor, and her work speaks for itself. What she can create with Prismacolor pencils are just amazing. But like I said, they are not ASTM or Blue Wool light fast tested. They are light fast tested in their own in-house light fast testing, but again, if you're an artist who's wanting to sell their own piece and they want to sell the original, you have to have 100% verification that the light fast testing and ratings you're using are to the standard of the ASTM or Blue Wool, whichever one. So next up is, this is a controversial pencil for me, because when I first started using this pencil, I absolutely loved it. I still do love them, but there are a few little drawbacks with them that I have discovered over the years, and that is the Holbein. Now, the Holbein pencils are, first of all, the biggest drawback with them is the price. They are hugely expensive. Their palette is just, the palette for the Holbein is beautiful in the full set. It's a gorgeous palette. They've got lots of really muted pastel tones and stuff like that. Everything that a colour pencil artist is going to need for any genre of artwork. But again, when it comes down to light fast testing, it's a little bit hit and miss. So quite a few years ago, there was no specific light fast testing on the Holbein website or their packaging or anything like that. But now if you look on the Holbein website, they will say that their products are ASTM light fast tested. Now, the thing that concerns me a little bit about that is, I know that when Derwent went through the process of doing their light fast pencils, in order for them to get the accredited ASTM light fast testing, cost them a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of to and fro into Arizona, I believe it was, where they had their pencils tested. They got their pigments tested over there, and so it's a big deal when you get your ASTM accredited light fast ratings. And so that's why when a company like Derwent or Caran d'Ache get this ASTM recognition, they put it on their box. They put it on their packaging, or they put it on their website. They let people know that this is ASTM, and there's their certificate and all these other different things, because it's a big deal. It's like shouting from the rooftops, these are the best of the best of the best. Holbein haven't done that yet with their packaging. I'm not suggesting that they're not going to or anything like that, but for me, it's not 100% proof yet. And the only reason I say that is because I've spoke to Holbein a couple of times via email, Holbein Japan that is, and I get conflicting, when I ask about their light fastness, I get conflicting emails back on that. So that's why I've put them in here at number 4 for my top 5 artist quality pencils, because I do enjoy using them. They are gorgeous pencils. Their palette is superb. It's just that light fastness. Okay, now my top 3 here. It took me a long time to put into order which ones I thought were 1, 2, and 3. I ended up going for this. So coming in at number 3 is the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor. Now, Koh-i-Noor recently, well, when I say recently, round about lockdown, so 2019, introduced a 144 set to their line. Now, prior to that, Koh-i-Noor had their 72 set, plus saying they had their pencils broke down into lots of different little sets. So you would have like landscape set or water scene set. They had a set of 12 pencils, a set of 12 browns, and then a set of 12 greys, and things like that. For each of these pencils that I'm talking about, by the way, if you want to know the specific details of them, I will have my individual reviews of these pencils linked down below, so you can go across, you can take a look at them. But the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor are a pencil I absolutely love. Whenever anybody comes to me and they say, Harry, listen, we can't afford like the Derwent Lightfast or the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, could you recommend a really good pencil? There are 2 pencils I recommend, one of which is always the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor. I think they're a gorgeous pencil. Like I say, their palette now of this 144, since they increased it, is also gorgeous. And their pricing for the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor is reasonable, considering the type of pencil that you get. Now, they are light fast tested. They do have like a light fast rating system on their pencils. Again, if you want to know more about that, I'll have it in the link down below, and you can go across and take a look at it. Now, not coming in at number 2. Now, this is where I tussled. So I tussled whether to put this pencil in at number 2 or the Koh-i-Noor Polycolor. But at the end, obviously, I went with this one. So coming in at number 2 is the Caran d'Ache Pablo. Now, you might be a little bit surprised by that pencil, but if you look on their website or the charter and whatever it is you want to do, you look on anybody's review of the Caran d'Ache Pablo, they're not graded in the ASTM or the Blue Wool. And the reason I say that is because they use this 3-star system. Now, if you know anything about the ASTM and the Blue Wool systems and how they're graded and what have you, if you go across to my Blue Wool and ASTM video, I'll explain that there. But when you see pencils that are graded by these 3 stars, you know that they're in-house tested. They don't correlate with the ASTM or the Blue Wool system, and I explain why that is on that video. But the Caran d'Ache Pablo is one such pencil. Now, out of the Caran d'Ache Pablo, the 120 set that they have, like I say, they work on a 3-star system. 3 stars is the most light fast. There's only 45 pencils in the 120 set that have 3 stars, and according to their website, that'll last 100 plus years. Then the 2 stars, there's 69 of those pencils, and then there's a 1 star and there's 6 of those pencils. Now, depending on the type of artist you are, there are some artists that will only use the highest Lightfast rating colours in the sets. So that would include even the Derwent Lightfast and the Luminance, where some artists will not use. So if we're talking about the ASTM rated system, LF1 is the highest, and then LF2 and LF3. In the Derwent Lightfast set and the Luminance set, there's only LF1 and LF2, and there's not many LF2s, but they exist and artists will not use those. So therefore, for those particular artists, they would not use, they would only use 45 pencils out of the 120 from the Caran d'Ache Pablo, which is the reason why it's in my artist quality list and not my artist grade list. But why is it number 2 in my artist quality? Well, the reason why I find it to be number 2 is because it's a little bit similar to the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Now, that pencil has a lot of controversy surrounding it as well as to whether it's ASTM, Blue Wool, that type of thing. But I did put them in on my artist grade list. In terms of the character of the pencil, how the pencil performs, the core of it and stuff like that, the Caran d'Ache Pablo is a really good pencil, has nice strong core, holds a point really, really well, and its palette is beautiful, especially if you're doing like landscape or botanical. The Caran d'Ache Pablo set, I think, is just perfect for that area of artwork, and that's why. But like I say, I tussled about a lot with whether the Koh-i-Noor should go in the second place or the Pablo should go in the second place. Coming in at number 1, and this was an easy one, I didn't have to think about this. This pencil is one of my all-time favourites, and that is the Lyra Rembrandt. Now, the Lyra Rembrandt is, I think it's one of those pencils that just gets overlooked so many times, but when an artist gets a set of Lyra Rembrandt pencils in their hands and they start using them, they're kind of like taken back and shocked at the performance and the quality of the pencil as well. Unfortunately, the Lightfast rating is again in-house, a little bit like the Koh-i-Noor, and so that's the only reason why this pencil is in my top 5 artist quality. Otherwise, I would have it in the artist grade. It's a gorgeous pencil. If you've not used the Lyra Rembrandt pencil, you should definitely get yourself like a 24 set or something like that. Incidentally, they also have like an Aquarelle version of the Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor, which is another gorgeous pencil. But if you check out if you've not already done so, either get a couple of Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor open stock, or just go for a 12 set or a 24 set. Test them out, take a little look at them, try them on your favourite paper. Those pencils, in conjunction with a good quality paper, you're going to produce beautiful artwork with them. They are really, really good pencils, and I just wish that their Lightfast was ASTM or Blue Wool. But, you know, it's important that I close this video by saying light fastness is something that is only important to certain artists. If you are going to be selling your original piece, if you're going to be doing a commission, light fastness is important. It is important. But there are other ways around it. If for argument's sake, you are on a very, very strict budget, you simply can't afford the Derwent the Derwent Lightfast pencils or the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, but you could afford a set of, say, like the Lara Rembrandt or Pablo or the Koh-i-Noor pencils. You can still produce an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful piece of work, and so long as your client knows what's going on with regards to the light fastness, if they put that piece behind a UV protected glass, then the piece is still going to be preserved. Same, and also as well, if you use, you know, a highly archival paper type as well, you're still going to get that preservation of the artwork over time. So there are lots of other ways around it, other than selling original piece, your original piece, which you are going to have to use Lightfast pencils, whether they're Blue Wool, ASTM or in-house. You can also create prints, and Glissé prints nowadays are really high quality. They use archival inks in the printing process. They use archival papers, and so whenever they're printed off, they're obviously not the original piece. They're not as good as the original piece, but they are high quality prints. It's not like just something you run off your printer. These are absolutely gorgeous pieces of artwork, and that is another way around selling your artwork if you just can't afford. It's a way of selling artwork and then getting yourself to, from the funds of selling prints and things like that or whatever, it's a way of getting you into a situation where you can financially afford to get a set like the Derwent Lightfast or the Caran d'Ache Luminance. Anyway, guys, that's my take on my top 5 artist quality. Let me know if any of these 5 are in your top 5 artist quality coloured pencils, and let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with any of these. If you don't agree with the order I put them in, which order would you put them in? Or just let me know your top 5 all in all. Bearing in mind, they're artist quality, not artist grade. So not pencils that are in the Blue Wool or ASTM Lightfast grading system. Alright guys, thanks very much. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. And thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all your support. If you're not already doing so, follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I put loads of different bits out over there. Every time I do a video, you'll get a notification on any of those platforms if you're following me. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribing to the channel really does help me out. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, doesn't cost you anything, hit the subscribe button and then hit that little bell notification. What that means is every single time I put a video out, you will get a notification immediately, and that includes obviously when I'm doing giveaways and stuff like that. You do not want to miss out on some of the giveaways that I have coming up this year. So if you're not already subscribed, think about it. If you think you get value from this channel, subscribing to it will really help me out at no cost to yourself. And like I say, hit that little bell icon and then you're good for notifications whenever I put out new videos. All the best, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.